Just seeing how awful my hair looks. Hiya. As promised, not entirely sure what inspired me to do this, probably avoidance of actually dealing with the very large pile of stuff that I got the other day at Jumble sales and a little bit at some flea markets as well. So I may or may not bore you with it all. It entirely depends on what you want to see. I might actually try and show you some of the sales that I've made as well, because, you know, I'm very good at doing these hauls, but I'm really, really bad at doing anything else. So lazy. Maybe I'm just lazy. I'll see if I can get myself up here. Hello, DBG. Nice to see you this morning. I don't quite know what I'm doing here. Let me just go there. Lovely. Right, where are we? I was thinking, oh no, I was thinking I might be able to see my own chat over there, but you don't necessarily want to see me kind of gazing into the distance. Like, yes, no, not what you want. Sorry, you have a makeup free Treasure Pirate today. It's half term. I've got my hands quite full. Sonny's here with a friend and he might pop in because I said, if you stick your head around the door, you will be on YouTube. Hello, Karen. Hi, I've seen you've been really busy this morning. I know you're going on holiday and you're photographing makeup and a pain in your ass from the I suggest a cushion. Something to make you more comfy. Right, I'm going to crack on because I really don't want to keep you all day and I have an absolute shed load of things to do, but I thought I'd show you this interesting item. I'm not really one for mugs, but it was the shape. It's obviously a grenade. This is from Becca. Hello, glad you made it. Nice to see you here. First time on the live. Welcome. Woohoo. Yeah, so I'm thinking this has got to be worth something. I can't find an exact one like this on eBay, and it's one of these textured jobbies, and I mustn't let my son see it, so I'm showing you first so I can hide it, because if he sees it, I am not going to be able to sell that. We'll tuck it away in the straw and then find it about 3 months later. Right, okay, everything else I can show you with impunity. Oh, you've got family round. Oh, we'll have a lovely lunch. It's a beautiful day, Peter. Happy birthday to your dad. and have a lovely day off, because you're a very busy day. The reason I'm so far forward and possibly looking slightly sweaty is I've just huffed down all these bags. Now, just before I start, I had a very interesting experience watching, that sounds dreadful, doesn't it? I had a lovely time watching Mel Sparrow's End, new technique of doing a video, but then being able to put it up and people being able to comment and chat live, because that kind of frees you up a little bit. Darren, was that? I just, oh, sorry, peering in there. Yeah, DBG, yeah. And, oh, where was I? You see, this is the thing. If I do put a video up and then can chat live, I don't kind of distract myself and get all kind of off the subject. So it might make me stick to the knitting a bit more, which is always beneficial. I like the idea of that, actually. It was quite good, and there's some very useful things that came out of it. The one thing that scared me, though, Mel, if you watch this at some point in time, is please don't mix your not unlisted stuff with your listed stock. I have done that in the past and it doesn't end well. It really doesn't end well. It just ends up being a real faff, because then you can't find things. I've got so much stuff now that I actually, if I did that, it would be disastrous. But you're getting to that point where you're getting that amount of kit. I just say that from the heart, because it can be very painful. Or you've got good stuff that could be listed that you didn't know you had. So, just a thought, I'll fling it out there. Disregard. Right, now of course I've mixed stuff up because I've started photographing. You can also see my lovely white stripe because I need to colour my hair. So enjoy that. About to move. Some things I got from a flea market and most things I got from a jumble sale. Now the jumble sale I was literally paying probably about 20p an item, apart from a couple of things. Anything that I've paid more for, I will say, if I can remember. I went to 2 jumble sales. One outside Tummy Dwells that wasn't quite as good as I was hoping, because I wasn't quite as early as I would like to have been, and the Locust got there first, so my pickings were a bit slim. I still got some, which I think is what I've got in this bag. And the second jumble sale, I actually got there. Well, I'd had to wander around in the town and spent some money in a charity shop, which is always a bad idea. And I actually got there nearly 2 hours before it started. And I'm thinking, oh, let's sit in the car, read a magazine, do something. Yeah, come to the UK, DVG, I tell you. And this is in the southeast, which is an expensive area. So, yeah, 50p to get in. Most items, 4 for £1, 5 for £1, literally. And I'm loading up, and they put them in the bag behind for me and just count them up at the end. And I usually give them over, because I'm happy to get a big bag of clothing for next to no money. So, yeah. Yeah, the second one I got there. And then I realised there were people queuing outside. They were queuing already. There was about 15 people in front of me. So I had to stand for 2 hours. Good job I'm sturdy. And wait for the 2:30 opening. I was there probably not long after 12. So that was a bit scary, but it was worth the wait. I was bloody knackered. And that was my day's shop really after all that. Right, excuse the rustling. I'm trying not to rustle. I'll whiz through these fairly quickly. I don't know how good it is, but when you're paying 20p odd for items, French Connection, and it's a nice men's shirt in that I don't pick up every shirt I see, but I know check plaid designs are very much the for, and this looked like a nice quality one. It's in a fairly big size, large. I don't know if size makes a lot of difference. Now, how am I going to do this? I'm going to try and chuck things in an orderly pile. I don't know about this one. Again, when stuff's 20p, you tend to get a little less fussy, and I'm still picky. I'll grant you, this is apparently something to do with West Ham. I think that will become that back to front for you. I'm not sure what I've done there and why you're back to front. It says Farewell Boleyn, 1904 to 2016. It obviously means something. I think that may be an old ground. Maybe they've got a new ground. But it's all very nicely done. And I thought someone might want that as a memento. And it's in very good nick with nothing worn. So I've done zero research on these, so I could be talking out of my backside. But I want to get my stock up. I want to get things on. I do tend to pick up Adidas. This isn't vintage Adidas. This is fairly modern, but it's just a pair of gym shorts, men's. And they're looking... I thought they looked in good nick. This is the problem when you go to jumble sales. You know, sometimes people call underwear shreddies. Shredded is possibly the term. I don't want to touch that, but I can probably show you. What were they doing? They'll be binned. As I say, when it's 20p, you don't tend to mind so much, but little surprises like that are part of the jumble sale fun and games. Part of the jumble sale fun and games. Now, I thought this was nice. It's the big buttoned cardie, which, as we know, big button cardies seem to be very much the order of the day. And I didn't mind because it's fat face. Again, I don't pick up everything fat face, but it's a nice size. It's a 14. It's good for winter. I gave it a little debobble, but it felt nice. And I mean, I say nice, I can't wear wool. Still bobbly. Excuse me. I did wallop back a bit of brunch before I started. What does this have? Okay, it's mostly acrylic, but 25% wool. So those hairs on it are cat hairs, and not because it's got Angora in it. It's always worth checking. Yeah, someone's got a long-haired white cat. I'm going to debobble that again, but these buttons they're quite cool. They've got fat face on them. And I always reckon that if anyone's kind of... Oh, excuse the light going on there. If anyone's smart enough to kind of have named buttons, it must be a reasonable quality item. And I picked these up just because I've had some luck with these very... Yeah, 10 to 25%, because you literally stood there. One arm that does the holding, one arm that does the picking, and on it goes to the arm. It's like that. You're pulling. Thankfully, this is my stronger arm. I'm looking a bit like Popeye now. It's pulling it all out. But yeah, you can't stand and check things. There is no way. This is Pegasus. I don't know this brand, but these sort of heavy line trousers are often very useful for people who want to be outdoors in the winter. I'm not one of those, but there we go. So we'll look them up and see if they're worth anything. They're not in bad nick. No holes, no damage. You know, I'll pick something up at these sort of prices if I think I can get 10 quid for it. If it's much less than that, I really can't be bothered. And I know that's... Ow! Sorry, thumb. I have a slightly clicky thumb. Right, well, I picked these up because Stonewash, this very, very pale Stonewash, madly distressed, need to go in the wash. It's like a doggy smelling pair of jeans. I grabbed them because they're a bit unusual. They're obviously ladies, they've got a lot of pink on them, but they're O'Neill, which is kind of surfy brand. They're maybe a bit summery really, they're a bit girly, they're not my kind of thing at all. A 30, which is equivalent to a 12. They definitely go in the wash. Sorry, million smell there. And that sort of damp dog smell you get at Jumble sales. I don't know why I picked this up. I think it's the 20p vibes. But I just thought, what a mad set of colours. Again, this is more for summer, isn't it? It's not really a wintry one. It is linen. And it's by Peruna, as a surprise. Peruna. But I just thought that was quite a nice... I like the colours in it, to be honest. I thought that's a bit unusual, a bit different. So, no, that's not right. That doesn't smell. Sorry, I'm a great one for sniffing things. You'll know that about me if you've seen me before now. Yeah, so it wasn't huge pickings from this Jumbly. Now these I picked up, again, sometimes with jeans I pick up anything that's really unusual, especially if it's cheap enough, because I kind of figure there is money to be made. Some jeans go for a lot of money. See, this had a nice patch on the back with what I think, I'm not sure what that is. That could be anything. It's a blobby thing. But the brand, ouch, sorry, bad thumb. The brand is Belfield. Now I'm assuming that is the brand of the jean. But I liked it because it has, you know, details like sort of patterned pockets and things. Yeah, it's just storage. It's not that it's actually nasty. DBG, you should come over. You really should come over and enjoy the delights of England. I've never been to Ireland, and I would dearly love to go. So road trips in the offing. Belfield, Phoenix, Odessa. Thankfully, it's one of those jeans where they put the label in. Made in China. 32, that's quite a good size. They're not, there's no elastic in them. There's no stretch, so they won't suit everybody. But I thought it was worth a punt, really. They're either worth something or they're not. In fact, there were two things that ended up in my bag that I hadn't even bought at all, that just somehow were there. I was going straight to the charity shop. You've been to Wales once and you haven't been to the UK? I have been to Wales. Yes, do like Wales. Don't get there very often. An Ireland road trip. Wouldn't that be fun, Karen? Should we? Right, let me just get rid of this rather large Toys R Us bag. Slinging outside the door, excuse my bag. Hello, Kath. Oh, I was relieved this morning. I actually sold on auction a sort of bag of Bratz dolls and stuff. I think I paid £5 for it, and I got about £23.99 with some postage. But I just wanted them gone. I was like, toys aren't my thing. I mean, obviously, if they're very high value, yes, of course they're my thing. But the usual stuff, I don't know enough. I was never into dolls as a child, so why I thought I might be as a grown-up, I couldn't begin to tell you. Right, another bag. We're still in the Jumbles, I think. Very much in the Jumble sale stuff. Now, I do tend to pick up anything. I have actually ironed and photographed this already, but it's all creased up again. It's one of these made in Italy. Yes, sequins, we have bling. Made in Italy, layered things. Again, these are more summery, I suppose, unless you want to put them with leggings. You've just mopped and having a brew. Oh, yeah, enjoy a brew. If you've been mopping, I don't, no, it's not really my thing at all. Don't much care for mopping. This didn't have a brand, but it had made in Italy, which an awful lot of these things do. I don't even think it's silk, but it just had a nice feel, and I thought, you know, someone will want that. Someone will want it. And I do pick up things that aren't clothes, occasionally. This is very mad. Look at the face on her. This is actually IKEA fabric, and it's quite a desirable one. Lots of faces, design, Beckmans. Oh, it's all back to front again, 2010. And it's very narrow. I don't know if it's meant to be that narrow, but it's got all these different weird faces on. Anyway, let's do them the right way up. And I thought someone might want that for mad cushions or a kid's room. I mean, it was literally, I didn't get that. That was I think I picked that up in a charity shop for about £1, but you know, I can easily get a tenner out of it, I don't mind. Now I keep hearing how embellished jumpers are all going to be the thing, so I hope so, because I've got a few. This one was really rather lovely. It's black, it's looking rather bluish on the screen, but that's because I've got sunshine coming in. And it's got all this sort of goldy sewn on with a few beads. This one has got Angora, it's not just that they've got a heavy dog. Long sleeve, nice jumper there. I didn't really have a brand. No, it said sample lot not to be sold. I thought, well, I'm about to break that rule, aren't I? But it's 58% silk. So well, someone's going to want that. Got a touch of the 80s about it. I always think they're sort of heavily embellished things. I always think I remember it the first time around. I don't really, it's not for me. You're too OCD not to clean. Well, if you live on your own, the only mess you're clearing up is yours. The problems come when some other bugger's made the mess and you're expected to clean it. But housework has never really been my thing. You're sorting out bits for some auctions. Well, I'm sure you will find some more stock. But like you say, I know you're changing your business model into trying to go for the higher end things, and ultimately it's less work, but it's getting there. You still have to pick up bread and butter stuff. These were unusual. I didn't know if they were real. I thought it was a bit strange, but they're Levi's. But they don't have a mega Levi thing. I hate housework. Yeah, I hate it too. That's why I don't do it. It's just got this little patch on the back and a black, strangely, little black label of Levi's. Classic rise, straight, demi curve. So that's obviously for the shapely lady. But if you're 27-inch waist, you're not going to be terribly shapely, are you? Well, not in my book anyway. So yes, they should be all right. I think some of this is flea market stuff I'm recognising, so it would have cost me the equivalent of about £2 each. Oh, hello Ian. Yes. Yeah, none of us really like housework. There's a certain satisfaction when it's done well. This was a very odd dress, but I grabbed it because I thought, nice colour blue, nice quality material, but it's got this mesh feature, so it looks like it's one-sleeved, and it's also the same, has the thing on the back. It also has an asymmetric hem, so there's a few sort of fashion points going there. Oh, and a nice piece of pink thread. Okay, we won't be selling that with it. Yeah, it's only Topshop. But again, I thought, and it's a 16, so I thought it's quite an unusual design. And of course, now I'm changing all my keywords. Hello there. Good morning. Yeah, so easy. It's closed. I just thought I'd warn you, just in case. I imagine clothes has the same effect on you, Z, that RC has on me. Like, what? Yeah, that should go reasonably well. I think it's sort of party things. I change up. I get rid of summer from my descriptions and just put holiday, cruise, and then anything that looks sort of wintry and partyish goes to party. Festive, if I'm feeling really festive. Your mind's already numb. Okay, well, I'll numb it further. That's all right. That's my job. This is white stuff. Just again, a little skirt, denim job. It's a size 12. It looks quite big for a 12, but maybe it's because it's meant to be more hipstery. Who knows? But they do quite nice quality denim. What do I put as an occupation? I can't remember what I put. I know I put self-employed, and when I was a hypnotherapist, I never understood what being a hypnotherapist was, so I ended up putting things like health. So long as you fill the categories, it shouldn't really matter too much. But obviously, if you look into it. Don't take my word for it. Yes. And you can't see me doing packaging. I won't do a video because I'm basically sat on the floor in my hallway in the dark, scrabbling around. It's not elegant, and no one needs to see that. Retail, yes, online retail. This was rather fabulous. Again, catching in on one of the trends. This was another £2 dress. It's not exactly lacy sleeves, but it's kind of pattern sleeves that happen to be floral, and the mesh sides actually go right down the side with a little panel there for where the Nicky Knocks go. So it does cover all your bits, and it's an ASOS one. Again, I don't pick up very much in this line, but it does tend to sell. It just doesn't sell for very much. But that I thought was quite unusual, and it's in a nice size. Again, good party outfit, and things with longer sleeves. A lot of us older ladies prefer a longer sleeve. Ah, podcast. Are you still doing podcasts, see? Podcasts are useful when you're kind of got your head in your work and you can't be flicking backwards and forwards. You sell ASOS, okay? Yeah, I do. I mean, I see an awful lot of it, and some of it isn't terribly good. I've also seen Misguided and Pretty Little Thing, and I tend to put those in the same sort of bracket, the online fast fashion. Some stuff goes incredibly well, and especially if you can get it new with tags. Another thing that tends to go quite well is Sweaty Betty. This is like a yoga top. That logo there is the one. If you see it, you'll know it. This will go for hopefully a little more because it's got this weird arrangement of straps at the back, which look far better on the mannequin than I'm showing them now. And it's also got a built-in sort of bralette affair, so a bit of extra support. So that I always pick up things, exercise stuff, if it's Sweaty Betty or Lululemon and all that kind of thing, because I wear a lot of that stuff for yoga, and I know that if it's good quality, you don't mind paying out a bit for it. The younger generation want little skinny asses. Snap them all out. Well, good for them. If it had been around when I was younger and considerably skinnier, I'd have probably done the same. Sibby Sibby Bang Bang. I love that name. You're so creative with your name, Sib. Was it? Yeah, Sibney Shepherd. That was a good one, wasn't it? This is cashing in on another trend. It's an open cardigan, good for covering up those arms and bingo wings in the winter. It's just rather nice, sort of sheer part the way down. This didn't have a brand with it, but again, oh, it does somewhere down here. Here we go. It's a big size, which is good, 20 to 24. So that's a better size. Arcadia group, so isn't that Debenhams and all that? So yeah, it's not going to be anything special, but it's just a nice little thing, a bit pretty, a bit lacy. Really rather nice. Oh, I saw some chat and then it disappeared. That's what happens to me. Right, here we go. New with tags, I say I do grab them when I can. Next. Yeah, Sib's names are very special. Very special indeed. Dorothy Perkins and Evans. It might have been an Evans, I suspect. These were £30 originally. They're more summery, of course. They're sort of cropped trousers in a chambray. I believe chambray is the word now. And they were in a good size, I believe, a 14. It's quite a good size. Someone obviously bought those and then just donated them. So some things I'm starting to separate out that, yeah, more like Evans. Okay, that's cool. Not quite. Yes, well, so it'd be very good. Amuse us all much of the time. And we always know it's you because there's no one else that does that with their names, or I wouldn't know how. I wouldn't know how. This was rather sweet. Again, it's summery, but hey, people go on holiday and cruises. Keywords, beach cover-up. And this is sea salt. That was another reason why I picked it up. Yeah, so again, more of the summery things. When I get this much stuff, I do tend to sort of, although I photograph it all, I tend to prioritise the listings. I'm also testing out something I was talking to Lex about on chat the other night, which is scheduling my relists, which are self-similars, to actually go on every half an hour to show activity consistently through the day. I'm just going to see if it works, because, hey, you know, October's not been amazing. You're so full of info here. Yes, you are full of useful info. The thing is, there's so much info about, it's very hard to know what's what really, isn't it? This is another sundress. Monsoon's died a death. I think it's the styles sometimes. It's sometimes the styles. I do have Monsoon. I find it goes, but it doesn't go terribly quickly. This is Monsoon. It's a summer thing. I had to repair a few buttons, and now, of course, I've realised that it seems to be missing a top button. So do you wear it a bit like that because it's rather nice, or are you going to worry? I'm going to list it anyway and just declare that. If someone wants to put their own fancy button on, they can. But it's rather cute, with all the frills and the ruffles. Yeah, I like that. The more ornate Monsoon, the one with all the embellishments, the embroidery and the boho gypsy look goes fine. If it's looking too kind of hippie and 90s-ish, it's not so much. But, yeah, it'll go. Just don't pay too much for it. I think that's the key. Some styles are more popular than others. Here we go. Here's another example of a summery thing. With my shop, which is the middle range shop, I don't have to pay anything extra to schedule. I can't tell you if that applies. I can't tell you if that applies lower down with the smaller shops, but once I realised that you don't actually have to pay, I thought, you know, I'm going to give it a try. Lex said she was feeling that there was a bit of an upturn, but that might just be because she is actually listing again. Kirsten, hello. Cheska, I don't know what Cheska is. Yeah, it's asymmetric hair. It's just a pop over linen. These things are always popular. Again, I think it's just got the Made in Italy brand. It's got these sort of largan look. There's that word again. These sort of big pockets is. I'm going to try and put that so I don't crush it to death. I'll just pop that in there. Oh, good old chambray. Still moves. This is a 2-1, believe it or not, but, well, why not, really? It's a nice size. Again, it's a 20. These long tops are great over leggings and with boots, so they all go into autumn, winter. You know, everyone's very confused about what the hell's happening with the weather, aren't they? It's been a bit too unseasonably warm. Oh, you got to go, Kath. Oh, dear. No, dogs with legs crossed. Not a good idea. See you later, Kath. Thank you for popping in. Now, I picked this up because it's fat face. Fat face? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, and it's extra large. These big size ones often go, and it's long sleeved. It's a bit pinky, which not every fella is so confident in that. Yes, somebody did. I'm going to go back through and have a look at that and have a look at all those words and see if there's any new ones I can... Yes, that probably applied to that last one, didn't it? So this is more for your oversized fella in the extra large. What I do find I'm very careful now is to make sure I put the length of sleeve in. I know you have to now on the women's, but I do on the men's because my husband's got very long arms. And if you buy him something and the arms are up here somewhere, even if it is a big size, it's a bit funny. So I do put all those things in. Yeah, see you later, Karen. Eyeliner pencil. Taupe of the morning. Oh, lovely. Yes, so that's one of those sort of very pale brown shades that wouldn't show up on me at all. Okay, right, that's one lot there. I'm just going to stick them in the bag and then we'll get on to the taupe of the morning. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Oh, God. Right, excuse the graving. Oops. I don't put them back in, I won't know what I've photographed and what I haven't. Because I'm doing it's all spilling. I did a big load of photographing. It's the little things that make us smile, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, this was another flea market find. I didn't even quite know what it was. But it turns out to be another fat face item which has a kind of a roll neck, funnel neck arrangement. Yeah, doesn't look much, does it? But it feels nice. And it's one of these little pop over things you can layer up. And apparently layering is a thing again. So I keep hearing. It's not going to tell me what size it is, mind you. Oh, it's a small. It's probably meant to be oversized. That's why that's the small. Let's put that there. And here's something I picked up. This was a Jumble sale pickup, and I was like, oh, wow. Abercrombie and Fitch. Again, I don't normally bother too much with them, but it's more in the cardigan-y, long cardigan range. Fabulous with pockets. I'm having a slight issue that there's a bit of a... Oh, it doesn't really show up too much on camera, but there's a little pinky mark there, so I need to get going at that, perhaps with some wet wipes. And I've got some of it off, but there's more. Oh, I hate it when things involve work. God, I've been blathering on for ages at you already. Okay. This one was £2, I think. This was a flea market find. It's wool and cashmere and man-made polyamide. Mostly wool, anyway. And I saw that label and thought, oh, that looks rather classy. And for £2, I know someone will want this because it's that kind of felty sort of autumn jacket. And I don't think the make is anything special. She said, showing you is IQ, which I think is one of the sort of main department store offshoots. Oh, it might be Debenhams or something like that. Somewhere like that. But it was quite nice. So I thought we'll give that a go. So I'm running out of space here now. I have more. I have a lot more. But I don't want to keep everyone from their work. Right, we're back here to Jumble sale things, I believe. But I did pay, this was £1 because it was hanging on a rail. But I thought, well, why not? Because it said Vince Camuto. I do have some success with this. I know that it's an American brand, but look, it's all magnolias. It's a lovely straight dress. Amazingly, doesn't have a mark on it, which for this colour and at a Jumble sale is unheard of. Oh, Tack Doctor, see ya. Tutty bye, thank you for popping in. So that was rather nice. Oh, what size is it? A UK 16, so a nice size. Not a teeny tiny size. I picked these up because these were mad, but then they were like about 20p. But apparently, Jaded London and Crazy, they're kind of that polyestery. Oh, I wouldn't wear them in a million years with cuff hem. But there'll be a few quid in those. You've got to take a punt. Jumble sales are a great opportunity to learn about new brands because you just grab things and then you have to go home and research them. Yeah, they were an eyeful. They really were. You won't be seeing me in those. Now, this is an example of what happens when you grab something at a Jumble sale. Fat face, size 14, lovely. It actually has, and it's hard to see, I think, in this light. Actually, it's got tiny little birdies flying. You could see a zib in those. I don't know what zib looks like, but I'm pretty sure that if I could see anybody in those... Yeah, what I hadn't noticed as an epic fail is wear down here. I might still try and flog it with wear on there, or it'll end up being redonated. Sometimes I get a pile of things and I just think, you know what, I can't be bothered. This was a 20p thing again. I like the colour. It's a really, really good colour. It's one of my colours, actually. I'm not sure about the necklace effect. I may sell it, I may not. I don't recognise the brand, but I haven't researched them. I might actually take the chains off and wear it myself, just because I like that colour. Oh, can I now? Perhaps I should do my research into Sibby Sibby Bang Bang and the Salacious website. Oh, these funny little things are quite good. It looks like fishing net, but it is actually a bolero tie front. Little cover up by a company called Peppermint. It's not made of anything special, but again, these things are useful for over those party dresses with the festive season. God, I can't remember what I picked up myself here, to be honest. Dorothy Perkins, size 6. That would go around, well, no, more than go around one of my legs, but I'm trying to work out if it's actually a dress or a skirt. But it's that sort of boho-y style. It's probably more summery. Because it's got a drawstring here, so I'm assuming that makes it a skirt. One of your legs in them. Yeah, I know. Size 6, really. I probably could have fitted into that when I was about 22, but not now. Never mind. I picked this up because it's handmade. It's in that lilac colour that can you see, it makes me look really dead. Not a colour for me. That lilac colour, it's a handmade jumper. At least I'm pretty sure it's a handmade jumper. And quite a nice stitch. Quite a nice design. There are no labels in it, and I'm pretty sure this is a handmade one. And they go for a few quid. So that was like a 20p job. So if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Here we go with a nice granny skirt, but horribly creased, I know. Button front. Question for everyone. I seem to be a bit late preparing for seasons. Should I skip listing winter stuff and move on to spring, summer? I would kind of say, and this is only my opinion, if you've got masses and masses of stuff and you've got to prioritise getting something on now, at the end of October, I'd say bang the winter stuff on, because people will be buying it at the end of this month, and when it starts to get cold in November, they're going to want it. If you get round to, once you get round to about sort of February, I think you really want to then start getting the spring stuff on. So always kind of get stuff on a good month ahead of when the season starts, and I think you'll probably be fine. But I have, you know, if you haven't got so much stuff, then obviously get it all on, because you might as well. But I've still got my summer stuff, you know, the stuff that didn't sell still on there. Yeah, precisely, DBG. Yeah, get it all on anyway. But if you've got a massive pile that's overwhelming you, then get those winter coats on, get the puffer jackets on, get the winter stuff on now. Don't leave it too late. And if you've got anything, toys, games, get that on now as well. I've got a few of those things that I have to list, but not very many. You're kidding. Well, you did ask. Under Armour. I do pick up Under Armour, and I only really discovered this brand because of having to buy things for my son for rugby and what have you, and realising they are a good brand and they're bloody expensive new. Yeah, get the coats on, because if you get the big stuff gone, then it gives you a bit more room for some more tat, doesn't it, Sib? That's the symbol that you'll see. That's the one to look out for. These are just little shorts, and let's just check these are in good nick, unlike the last pair of shorts I picked up. Yes, they seem fine. They might be a special running one. Heat gear, these are. Okay. They've got little pockets in the front, which is always handy. Part of the winter coats and jumpers. Yeah, exactly, Becca. You know, there are a couple of big winter coats I still have to get on because I've put them somewhere safe and I've got to measure them, or I've got to double check them for repair requirements. But yeah, I will need to get them on before the end of the month. Again, it's this time of year, everyone's had to clear out of their summer stuff. This was fat face, but I thought it was really sweet. Nice little design. Yeah, nothing special there, but it's at 12. Kind of cute with these little nose ticklers. Lovely. You know what? I can't wait to get my nipple tassels through. Now I can. And if I said I'd model them, they will be over clothing, all right? So I will make sure that people get to see that they will be over clothing. Because nobody needs to see anything more. But, you know, it's fun. And it was such a good cause. And Lex is such a talented lady that I just thought they'd be hilarious. In fact, what I may well do, once I've had them and taken the picture of them, actually, you know, in the appropriate place, I'll probably frame them and put them on the wall. So, yeah, it was, well, you know, just fun things, really. Hello, Ginger Witch. Good afternoon. It is. Of course it is. Old Adidas. This Firebird logo, that's the key word, Firebird. They're not necessarily going to be vintage in themselves. This isn't a very old label. It's the reissue. But they're still popular. They still sell. I don't think these are that old. You get labels that have lots of colours on. Somebody's busy this time of year. I kind of saw that and then lost it. 2001, I think. No, 15. Oh, well, anyway. Someone will probably want them. And they're in reasonable nick. They're not too faded. And they're quite subtle. Some people like subtle in their Adidas. Oops. Oh, God. That is all going to go. You've got lots of bats and such to do my work. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Unfortunately, my bats are obviously on holiday at the moment, as is my familiar. He does nothing except lays about. He's a very lazy cat. Does absolutely bugger all. Especially with the more mundane stuff that requires doing. There we go. I'm just, excuse me. I'm in a very, very small room. Right. There. Oh. Okay, right. I think these are more of the... Yeah, these are more of the Jumble Cell things. Yourself with dog. But he is black. Yes, my cat is mostly black. But I find that having black cats where we live, because it's quite dark at night, I had a black... I've had many black cats in the past, but I lost one to traffic. He got run over and that was horrible. So I try and pick a cat that's mostly black but with quite a bit of white. More chance of being seen at night. I can't bear it to lose them. It's so sad. This is Ann Taylor Loft. It's an American design again. But they're quite nice, some of the things they come up with. I mean, the colour is a bit icky, I have to say. It's not really... It's more mustardy I've got here. Oh dear. Well, as long as it's meant in a complimentary fashion. Oh, what have we got here? Cotton, rayon and wool. So it's nothing actually terribly special. But it's a thin knit design that somebody might like. So we'll give that a whirl. Oops, a little mark on the back. I should have to look into that. It's funny how you don't see things when you, or maybe you say bitch, I don't really listen. Yeah, we call it bitchcraft in our house. There we go. Who have we got there? Who is this? Poetry. Now that name rings a slight bell, but I mainly picked it because it's a kind of quite well designed top with some nice shell detail, and it's obviously a pretty good size there. So a nice big size. That'll be holiday stroke cruise. I suspect it's a bit sort of thin now for our weather. Oh no, I'm going to blind you. There's some colour coming. I'm just giving you some warning. It might be TK Maxx. Oh, yeah. I don't have to dress up that much really. It's quite straightforward, as anyone who's ever known me. God, they're an eyeful, aren't they? But they are Firebird Adidas. Again, these aren't actually the vintage ones as far as I can tell. It's got all the correct labels, so they're genuine. Got lots of labels in there. But this is definitely a much more modern label. Yeah, I'll put those down before but honestly, people do like them. They look like vintage, but I think what's happened is they've reissued. I have had vintage ones and they've normally got a label that's very distinctive, but these have got the little zips at the side, and you know, yeah, someone will want those. God, it's giving me a migraine, that. It's quite nasty. What we got here? This looks like jeans. Oh yes, right. Now I'm quite interested to pick up things like this. This is Osaka Tiger dark jeans. Now sometimes Japanese brands of jeans can be worth money. I haven't done research, but I have found jeans before that I thought, oh, they're very unusual, and I picked them up. These are cotton, but they're big and tall. They're 33 leg, and they've got that stonewashy look. They're quite sort of detailed, so quite sort of detailed. They've got a hole in the arse. This is what happens at Jumble sales. Look, kiwi. Yeah, I'll be hard pushed to repair that. Oh well, I'll research the label anyway and bin them. Doesn't matter. The 20p, it doesn't matter. But that's what happens. You haven't got time to look. You're just literally throwing stuff over an arm, because if you don't get in quick, you miss out. Lavagna woman. I quite like this though. Again, it's another one of these Largan-looky, asymmetric-y hem. I don't really wear much Largan look. I always think there's so many layers, it's going to make you look enormous even if you're not. But there we go. It felt like nice quality. It's got the cold shoulder thing as well. I've never subscribed to cold shoulders myself. I can't truly see the point. But I guess a bit of sexy shoulder is not a bad thing. So who knows? Like I say, we're still in the 20p zone, so I can't believe that hole in those jeans though. But I will look up the brand because, you know, it's a learning opportunity, and why not? I do like things that have a little bit of lace going on. Oh, for those jeans. The Osaka Tiger. Well, there we go. It's probably just as well then, because they would have got donated if they'd only been worth that. A nice big size and a 22. That doesn't really look like a 22, but hey. Nice little top. Reasonably modest. Bit of coverage in the Bristol area. No. Oh, no, it's Suka Tiger. I don't know what that is, but interesting. But no, not the same. But no, I mean, if, like I say, £5.50 selling price for something. God, I look a mess. Look at the state of it. It's what comes with half term. It does. It's all Japanese. Now this I liked. Again, finding something white that's actually white. It might look like a dish rag to you, but it's Joe Brown's. And I like a bit of Joe Brown's. It's in a big size, I think. It's in a bigger size. Is that a mark or is that... Oh, get to work with that. Sometimes they just get a little bit dusty. And a baby wipe. Baby wipe's the answer to everything. It will have nuclear powers when it comes to getting stains off. It's a 20. That's right, it's a 20. So that's a nice thing. I'm just going to pop that to one side because I need to address that little mark on the back. Right, we're nearly there. Nearly there, guys, if anyone's still with me. Christ, I'm going to try not to bore the arse of you. Maybe I'll do another one to show you some of our sales. It'll be a bit technologically primitive, but, you know, you see me buying all this stuff, but you're probably thinking, what's the bloody selling, is it? Okay, right. Charity shop finds. So, not at the 20p. This was whilst I was in the town. I picked up a Whitney blanket. But what a colour. I thought someone's going to want that colour. And it's in incredibly good condition. I used to do very well on blankets, and then the bottom dropped out of the market. I'm trying to find the label for you, actually. They all come with different labels. Oh, sorry, it's wool. It makes me sort of itch just looking at it. That's a Whitney. That's quite an old one. Some of them are earlies of Whitney. This is just Whitney. Pure wool, made in England. Has the nice blanket stitch along the edge. And that is in immaculate condition. That's almost... Oh, God, it's going to make me sneeze. I've got to put that down. I paid £4.50 for it. White is yeah, tough to photograph, but I have a dark wall that I photograph it against. I've got it's dark blue wardrobe doors, sort of painted in a matte paint, and I put white stuff against that because I've got a white wall that I photograph most other things against. And if I'm really stuck, then I put things on the floor, which is like a wood effect. So somehow or other, I'm going to try and get the colour. The most difficult colour I find to photograph is that kind of tan taupe colour. I really struggle with that. Now these are goodies. Most people will know about candy stripe stuff. And £2.50 for a pair of these. These are housewife pillowcases because they've got the bit around the edge. And yes, they are quite bright. But there's a lot of people that like these. These are in very, very good condition. They actually look like they haven't been used. They've got that sort of starchy feel. Although actually I may have to wash and restart them because I can see just a bit of dust from storage has gotten on there. Yes, taupe in the morning. Can't photograph taupe in the morning. It's not happening. And I bought another pair of these candy stripe ones, and I'm hoping these haven't got anything on them. They're very stiff and new. And we all like stiff and new, don't we? So, how refreshing. So, they're all right. I paid £2.50 for those. They don't appear to have any yellowing, so they'll be all right. They won't need redoing. These sort of things go quite well. People like these. It's nostalgia. I remember these when I was a kid. And brush cotton as well, if you can find the brush cotton ones. Oh, there's nothing nicer than brush cotton sheets. Okay, so this is... We all make errors, and I may have made a big one on these, but I'm still going to go for it. Oh, go away. I know who that is as well. I'm going to take this and then I'm just going to turn the phone back. No, I'm not. My son's got there before me. It's alright, it's a friend of mine. She usually rings around this time of the day. Hugo Boss. They're quite unusual ones. They look really grubby, but that's the intention. They have that sort of oily finish. They really look grubby and strange. And I paid £10 for them. That was a landline telephone. Yes, I am that old tech. I still have one. So I've got to double check the model of these because I'm pretty sure that they're unusual enough where they will get a high price. I wouldn't normally say I'd pay out that much on them. Another better find is Diesel. I do love Diesel jeans. Oh my God, yes, some of us are still in Diesel jeans. These are Larky and they're a really good size, 36 wide, 32 long, so big and tall. I paid a tenner for these. I know there's at least a good 50 quid in them. And I know they're real because I've sold quite a lot of them. There we are, you have the label there. Best way to spot Diesel, you'll usually see that when you're flicking through the rails. The distressing is intentional and part of the design, which I still have trouble getting my head around sometimes. Hang on. Hello. Hi Joe, can I ring you back in 10 minutes? I'm just doing a live YouTube, but I'm nearly done. All right, babe, I'll come back to you in a minute. Bye. One of my dear friends who hasn't a Scooby about all of this. Right, I really will motor through this because we've all got things to do. Okay, we're back into... Yes, we're back into Jumble sale. Fat face. Yeah, can you imagine? I did have someone phone me up recently. It was really strange. It was about eBay, and it was this old chap who was ringing me up to thank me for sending him something and saying how lovely it was. I nearly fell off my perch because it was about 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening, and I was like, "Rrr," as you do. Who the hell's phoning me at this time of night on a landline? There we go. These fat face shorts are very, very expensive new. My husband loves all of these, but I don't think... Oh, they might be his size, actually. Whether he'll see them or not depends on my... the perfect phone voice. What, send somebody to sleep? Well, thank you very much. Yes, this is a face for radio. Absolutely. Oh, I picked up this one here. Who's this by? Trait. I think this is a... I think I picked this up because I like the idea of being snugly in this. Big, red, warm hoodie. Wearing a hoodie at my age. How ridiculous. But if I've got to stand outside... Oh, it's BHS. There we go. Oh, I think it's meant to be a man's. Really? You usually tell from sleeve length. I'm not long of arm. So someone's obviously shrunk it slightly. But it'll do me for standing around at boot fairs. Right. I love hoodies. There's something so snuggly about them. Ta-da! Wolfie! I know, it's not one of the big brown ones, but I just thought that was... And it's got one on the back as well, which doesn't make much sense, really. Sort of like having eyes in the back of your head. Rock Eagle, 100% cotton. I do like a graphic tee. They will sell. And this one really looked like it hadn't... You know, it's had very little wear. Rock Eagle. Maybe it's a brand. I just thought it was rather funky. I'm a sucker for anything with a wolf on it, to be honest. Right. Here we go. We're getting to the... We're nearly there, folks. We're nearly there. Now, these are good. I'd recommend picking these up if you see them cheap enough. Rohan. It's a very good brand of hiking. And these really look like they've hardly been worn. In fact, they just don't. They've... Oh, right. Okay. You can unzip the leg there for below the knee. You can unzip the leg there for shorts, which makes them feel very zippy. But the weird thing of it is, what happens if you kind of misplace these and then suddenly find you can't reassemble your trousers? But they are damned expensive new. I know, because we've got to go camping or go outdoors shop near us, and by the gods, the prices are horrific for things that are new. Those are XL, and I would say those have probably been worn once. They look immaculate. That's the thing with people down in the soft south. They'll buy something like this, go walking once and go, it's not for me. So it turns up in a charity shop. Another hoodie. Now, why did I buy this one? Geisha Salomon, because it had a loud design on the front. Geisha Salomon. Salomon is the ski wear one, so I thought, oh, it's ski wear. There we go. Salomon. Oh, it's all back to front, you can't see it, sorry. Extra small. But skiing season's come up. I actually sold some salopettes, kids salopettes. If you see those going cheap, grab them, because there's a lot of people that want to buy them. Here we go. Blush pink, Jaeger, jeans style, trousers. Nothing terribly exciting, but there are people who are still very much into this colour, this millennial pink. And I think they were 14, and Jaeger were quite generous, so yeah, a 14 would be quite a big size. Oh, nearly there. Woohoo! What on earth is this? Oh yes, vintage dresses. Something I love, because the more hideous they are, the better. And this is particularly hideous. Well, not loud, but it's got embroidery on it. Good. It's buttoned down all the way. Good. And I believe it is... God, you can barely tell what brand it is. Classic. Well, it's not Marks and Spencer's, but hey, it's got the tie back. It's got that 90s grungy feel about it, and that's more of a holiday one rather than winter. Last item. Oh no. Is that another pair, or is that the same pair I put back? No, that was it. That was the last item. So there you go. I think I've bored you all for, oh my God, nearly an hour, for which I can only apologise. My burbles on. Hope that's kept you all amused. Anyway, it's been lovely to chat to you all. Obviously, I've got to go and do some serious photography and probably talk to that to that friend of mine who's awaiting my phone call on a landline of all things. I don't use the landline very often, but it was a sort of a hangover of having had a business where I needed to be obtainable, and a lot of people still like the surety of a landline. So yeah, we've still got it at the moment. Anyway, I hope you've all had a brilliant weekend. I hope your sales have been somewhat better than mine have lately, and that you're going to crack on and get listing ready for so-called quarter 4 or busy times. Yeah, so we'll see if my scheduled listings works or whether that's a complete fail. And because I usually relist about 40 a day, and I try and put 10 new ones on a day as well. So thank you, DBG. Anyway, take care, you lovely lot, and I will see you again soon. Bye.